Welcome to The Preferred List, a podcast about the people behind the best wedding days. I'm James, a wedding filmmaker. I've spent years in the industry working alongside incredible vendors, and this show is all about real conversations with the ones who make it happen. Whether you're a vendor or a couple, you'll get honest insight, good stories, and maybe a little inspiration along the way. Let's meet today's wedding vendor. Hey, Aalea, how's it going?
It's going well, if that's how you say it.
That is exactly how you say it.
I don't know, is it going good? It's going
Guys,
well.
it is currently 3:08 p.m. We're rallying for this episode, and I'm very excited. Aalea works here as a wedding coordinator at the booking house, and I'm just grateful for Brittany and y'all for hosting this film day. It's so fun. The booking house is an industrial, modern, chic wedding and event space in Mannheim, PA, rich with character and history. It was originally built in 1884 as the old General Cigar Company warehouse, and the venue blends historic charm with contemporary style across 15,000 square feet. It's centrally located, and it's an easy drive from Philadelphia, Westchester, New Jersey, Maryland, and even New York City in under 3 hours, and it serves both local couples and destination couples. It's a perfect event space for intimate gatherings or even up to 250 guests. And the booking house offers separate spaces for your ceremony, cocktail hour, and reception, all on one property. It's open year-round, and the newly added atrium brings an open-air feel without any worry about the weather. With an experienced, caring team providing in-house bartending and coordinating, they are dedicated to making every detail seamless so you can enjoy an unforgettable day. And I will say, every time I'm here, you are the center of what I feel like is the seamless, enjoyable day. Just keeping everything behind the scenes running smoothly. So I'm so excited to pick your brain on how you do that.
There's a lot to pick.
There's a lot to pick.
Yes.
Aalea, thank you so much for being a part of this film day here at the booking house at the venue that you work at. Tell me a little bit about how you got your start in wedding coordinating.
Yeah, so I went to school at Westchester University. I played rugby there. It was super fun.
No way, my
Yeah.
wife played rugby
Where?
at Penn State.
What years?
She's gonna kill me. 2012 to 20, whatever that is, 15, 16.
Because I was in 2014 to 2018.
Did you guys play each other?
We probably did. Yeah.
That's so
no
fun.
offense, there's bad blood between Westchester and Penn State. It might be one-sided,
Oh,
where
yeah.
we
Just
Penn State's really good.
Yeah.
And Westchester's really good too, but Penn State,
Sorry.
we're varsity in their
Yeah.
club, so they could get around some stuff. She's gonna be like, no, but
Yeah.
it's okay.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait
Listen,
to tell her. That's so fun.
I feel like I know a lot of people that she probably played with too.
Yeah.
So that,
Well, 'cause
do
a
you
lot
know what
of-
position she played?
Oh,
Tell me a lot about her.
Flanker?
Flanker?
Maybe.
Really?
She's gonna kill me if that's wrong. Maybe.
Do you know what the number on her jersey was?
I don't. I can ask
That's
her.
all right.
I'll
Not
have to-
fly half?
I don't even know what that means.
Okay. You would know. That's what I played. Basically the quarterback. Hence why I'm at
Yeah,
where
this is
I'm
why.
at.
Yeah, it makes sense. It
yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, well, so that kind of I always tell people that ties into weddings in a weird way of rugby was so mentally and physically taxing, and you just have to be on, and there's no stop, because in my position it was always I have to think 20 steps ahead and pivot, and also while getting running over, sprint,
Yeah.
it's so much. So I think if I didn't have that background, I don't know if I would have what it takes to be a wedding coordinator, because it takes a lot. It really does.
You have to have some pretty tough skin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You really, and you have to pivot, but anyways. So yeah, so that's what I did. And
That's so
then
cool.
I know, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And then I graduated with business management to keep it kind of general. I got an internship at Enterprise. You can put that in. Please put that in. Yeah. Did meet my baby daddy there. He's my fiance. I'm not wearing the ring, but it's so bad. It is so bad. You can put all of this is all fine.
It's all good. Okay.
But yeah, so I was there, and then I worked at a wholesaler doing account stuff, and then I was a claims adjuster for an insurance company.
Sounds awful.
It was horrendous.
Yeah.
And I am a very people person, I think. So I was just I need to get out of this. And then the booking house had an ad for event coordinator, and I interviewed with very like minimal background. I did like rugby stuff and maybe some things for like the school, but like nothing events. And like it was like, you need like 3 years events. And I was like, I don't
You're like,
have
I don't have
it.
that.
No. Luckily, like Britt is so cool. I don't know if you'll play her episode before me. You can, I guess, but she took a chance on me. And then I started here. So that was back in like 2021, I think. So I've been doing it for like over 4 years now. So that's how I got here. And I took, because Britt was in my position first. So I took her position and she was then in where she's at now. And it was like I was right in, like
Yeah.
threw me to the wolves.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, the first few weddings I did, shout out to those couples for bearing with me because literally one one time a mom came up to me and was like, "Hey, is there gonna be enough room for all the chargers on the tables?" And I was like, "I mean, maybe on the tables, but like we don't have enough outlets." And she's like, "No, like the chargers." And I was like,
Yeah.
Do you know what a charger is?"
Yeah, we'll just pour one out for that moment for you.
I was
I will
humbled.
say, I like the word charger makes no sense for the
Thank
plate
you.
thing,
Thank you.
but yeah, that.
But as your wedding coordinator,
So obviously, the first couple were a thing. They happened. But what was it like? Those first couple must have been enjoyable in some ways for you to be like, actually, I could see myself doing this and being here like 4 or 5 years later.
they were great. They were like, I remember like the first one I did, I was kind of shadowing Britt, and I was like, oh my gosh. Cause I honestly had never even been a guest much at a wedding. Like, I really, really did not know anything.
You really snuck under the radar on that.
Oh, yeah. Like, I was in maybe
You're
like my
highly
cousin's
qualified
wedding.
now, but
I know now,
yeah,
but I also think it's the best way to go into it because I came in really eager, like, and also coming from like a not burnt out type
yeah,
side of it. Like, I was just like trying to figure out how to make things better and all. Like, I think if would have had like multiple events experience with like doing stuff in high school and like college, I feel like events are a lot. So I think I could have been like seeing it very like, what's the word?
you could
Like,
almost been like scarred by like
yeah,
the
you see it
previous
very like
ones.
clinically
Yeah,
instead of like when I came in, I saw it very like weddings, the couple so like it was just like so magical, so great. Can't believe I get to do this. And like really like I was humbled, but I learned so much. And I also still had the end of like always respecting that it's someone's wedding day,
yeah.
which is something I think in this industry people like vendors will lose.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and we were just talking about that. I mean, in this film day, the one before yours, it's just like so easy to not have the right mindset
Mm-hmm.
in that. When you're in that process, early days, how much different is it now than it was then for you?
Oh my gosh, it is so different. It is like insanely different. I feel like I know too much now that like it has made it more complicated in meetings where I'm like, well, if you do this, you're gonna get this. If you da, da, da,
You
da,
have
da,
like
da.
all the
Too
options
much,
running through your
yes.
mind.
And I have to like be like, all right, chill. So in the beginning days, I think I just kind of really like I did not, but yeah, pros and cons. Like I was like, yes, 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 and then got burned and burned and burned, and I was like, all right, constantly thinking of like how can we make things better. And I know there's like a big thing with like venues with like do's and don'ts, and like couples will like rant and rave and like TikTok. They'll be like, you can't do it. Like for us, I know at the booking house, like we have curated the yes and no's strictly in the like with the thought of like the best event day. No one wants to tell you no. Like I would love to just be like we can do everything and anything, but that's
Yeah.
not realistic. It's not going to happen. And there's so many reasons behind all the stuff. So that's like in the beginning I was just like whatever, do it all. I think other things suffered on the wedding days because I didn't know that, but now I know a little bit too much, and I think I become very like regulated and almost overwhelming the couples in a sense. Maybe I'm also very hard on myself, so maybe
Yeah.
I'm just like saying that, but
I mean, in the end, they probably appreciate all of the extra.
I think
Maybe in
so.
the moment it can be a little but it's going to be overwhelming
It's
any part of the
always, yeah.
process.
It's
Yeah.
also, are they gonna, do they listen to you?
Yeah. No. No.
50-50.
50/50.
They ain't listening to
It's a
something
coin
I say.
flip.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
What's one of the biggest things that you've learned though in the process throughout the years that you've been working here that like this makes a wedding day run smoothly every time?
Um, have you asked other vendors this?
No.
Okay, because the number one answer is who you hire, who your vendor team is.
Okay.
100%. You can have $10 million and buy everything, but if you buy, like, if you get just bad vendors, and in the wedding industry, everyone's like, let's be nice to everyone. And like, I am nice. Like, I will be nice, but like, I think that I personally am so protective of my couple's investments and like I know how much it is and I really love and I will run myself into the ground before an event fails, no matter who it is. So it's like that's the standard that I expect. And like if you don't get that all around with your vendors, like it hurts your event. And I've seen it happen time and time again. It's like they'll have all these other great vendors and like those few great vendors can't always pick up the pieces for even just one like really really crappy vendor. One, I think you do get what you pay for, and two, sometimes even then it's like I don't know. It's that's also hard to say because there's some higher end people that are not that good either.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing that this is what we do talk about a lot is like how do you know beforehand
Mhm.
whether or not they're going to be good? Um, and even like reviews might say good things, but that might only be the good things of the maybe not so good things.
The reviews I've seen can be curated and like
Yeah.
made to seem a certain way. And I mean, I think like it's hard to talk about because if you have like a full service planner, I'm sure they will guide you the right way. Like you just have to listen. But then like for coordinator or like with us, we do have like a vendor list of like only like our catering is like required you have to choose from, but like we only put people on, we get no kickback from anything. Like, and I think that's how it should be. I don't think any
Yeah.
place should get a kick like that's just weird.
Yeah.
We have taken people on and off of our list throughout the years just based off of like performance. And it's just like we do that as one, like we really like you, we want you back. But then also like just know like if you don't give that level of service or you don't handle it properly afterwards, then like you're off the list and you'll definitely not be like it's just how it goes.
Yeah.
It's yeah, because I get some people can have off days, but it's also how you handle it
Yeah. For
afterwards,
sure.
you know?
Is there something that the good ones, just general vendor, not like a specific category, but the general vendor, what are the good ones always doing?
They're personable and like I don't even know how to explain. They're personable. They talk to you like a person. Like that's the same thing as personable. I
Well,
guess like
yeah.
from what I've seen, I think in general, a good vendor talks to the couple like it's their wedding day, is keeps that high energy excitement, is responsive as much as they can be, and is like clear with them if they are busy, like being like, hey, I am like just being really like the communication and then the day of like going above and beyond and just the energy, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you have like a very specific piece of the puzzle where you're almost like putting the puzzle together in some ways and
Mhm.
then like also keeping it together in other ways. And I feel like it's such an interesting perspective because like from my perspective as a wedding videographer, I'm like I might like partially see some stuff hitting the fan, but it really doesn't affect me all that much. Even if the timeline gets like skewed a little bit, I'm kind of like, whatever.
Must be nice.
Yeah, but for you, like you have this perspective where you are almost like overseeing the whole thing, keeping it running smoothly. So it seems like if vendors are showing up, they're willing to work together, they're enjoyable to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Your job's like smooth sailing more so than
100%.
like
Yeah.
button heads all day
Well,
and
you
like
hit the nail with like the teamwork. That's huge. Like we're not coming in as separate entities. Like when you're here that day of, it's like we're all one company, you know? Like that's just how it should be. Like we're all here for the same purpose. So it's hard, yeah, when they don't have that teamwork mentality. You could tell and then yeah, it just causes extra work and I feel like my job too, being in that over like encompassing thing, like if something does go wrong, it's looked to me as to like, why did that go? Like, why didn't you do X, Y, and Z to prevent that? And it's just like, it can be a lot. So that's why I'm kind of the way I am. Yeah, I am. Best way to put it.
Well, I mean, you kind of have to be in
Hmm.
some ways.
It's such a delicate line of being like trying to be friendly and like friends and like the cool, like,
The
but then
cool
it's like
planner.
you need to be
Yeah.
like, oh my, like, let's go.
Yeah.
It is,
But I think,
I struggle with
I
that.
mean, you said it though. You're doing it to protect your couples.
Yeah.
And I think if, even if someone, in the moment's like, oof, that was a rough moment we had together, right? If it was happening. But if I knew that you were coming from a perspective of like wanting to care the best for your couple that's there, and maybe that vendor didn't measure up, it's like, okay, I didn't do it. I appreciate you looking out for the couple. I'm here. We're good.
Hmm.
Like, let's move forward from that moment.
Yeah.
Um,
Accountability. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. This industry has a tendency of people to try and,
Yeah. Oh, she did it. Yeah.
mhm.
I literally did that out by accident. I didn't see the photographer, and the planner was like, "Oh, let's do PJ Fix," and I was like, "I haven't seen the photographer." I was like, "Rachel, I am so sorry. I did not know you were here. I was outside. I didn't." She had been
Yeah.
there for like 40 minutes.
And that's so, like, that's so
I
good.
apologized to her like 4 times. I'm like, "I'm so sorry," but she was friends with the
Yeah.
planner, so it all worked out. I was like, "Okay."
No, that's good. There's so many times where like just a little bit of accountability from someone would have like mended the weird
Yeah.
situation that comes up because people are always like venue coordinators like like
Yeah.
they're just so annoying and I'm like I'm not annoying. I'm doing some of your job. I'm not getting any of your money, but get it together, pick it
Yeah.
up. I
We got
won't be
this.
annoying if you do your job.
Yeah, we got
That's the
this.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
You won't see
Could
me
you
much.
could you explain, we're talking about jobs, could you explain like what's a venue coordinator, what's a wedding coordinator, what's a planner, like how do
Gosh.
you
I might have to get depostured for that one. You're opening up something. I don't know. You want to go down. I also
it's like
did not
you're
bring
actually
water up.
like want to sit back a little bit.
I,
I would say she sat down and I was like, "Good grief, your posture."
I was trying to be that cool girl, but this
Yeah.
might be me now.
So speaking of the job thing, like you have a specific job on the day as the wedding coordinator, but there's this like weirdness of like that could mean like four different things to four different people, and then there's like planner, there's all these different things. Maybe demystifying like what does it mean for you when you say that you are a wedding coordinator?
Yeah. Let me say this real quick to anyone listening. The stigma about venue coordinators, wedding planners, everything is always different. And it's for the venue coordinator, wedding coordinator side of it. That is so specific to where you are booking. The booking house, we do things right, we do things proper. We are more than what some places will tell you a venue coordinator is. So, specifically for us, I will tell you what we do. And I don't know if that matches what like other venue coordinator or wedding coordinator does, because we also have like site managers here that are here for like the building that just like come with like the venue. They're doing temperatures, doing bathrooms, they're just
I think
checking.
the problem is your site manager that you have here could be considered some type of like venue coordinator at somewhere else.
That's what I've heard. And that's what I've like gathered. So it is so frustrating when like people will box it into like it's this or this. It's situational. And yeah, that sucks that you can't just say, "Oh, this is that, this is
Yeah.
that." But that's the wedding industry. Like
Yeah.
videography, are you documentary? Are you
Yeah.
this? Are you 80s style on a VHS? Like everything is so different in itself. So for us, what we do is I don't like saying a day of coordinator, we're a wedding coordinator because I jump in. Honestly, whenever the person books here, they can, if they book the coordinating service, they have access to me. Like I'm never
Okay.
gonna be like, you only get X amount of time. Like I could never do that. I
Because we were
think
talking and feels like most of the time it's like a 3-ish months.
Yeah, so I like fully jump in with them at the 2 month out
Okay.
mark. So like I have like the details meeting where I get all the information to make their timeline, the decor and design sheet, talk through like layout and stuff like that. And then like we're really in touch from that 2 month out mark up until their wedding day about like finalizing the details for that timeline, going back and forth on just like all the stuff that's needed. So um yeah, I do timeline creation. I get their vision so that I know how to set things up for them because I do all that setup and everything and tear down at their wedding. And then I run the timeline on the day of. I am in contact with their vendors. So I'm checking in to confirm stuff, get their arrival time, general questions, and then I give them all a copy of the timeline too. So keeping everyone on the same page and just reinstating that teamwork mentality. So I'm not just like a, hey, day of, like,
Like, I'm here.
what's up? Like, I'll fluff your dress. Like, yeah, I'll fluff your dress, but I'm also doing 10,000 other things.
Yeah, and I can attest to that because you did that at the wedding that we were here.
Hmm.
Like doing all the things.
I do a lot. Like, I don't think there's anything I really don't do.
Yeah.
If it's gonna, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think the problem is like there's a lot of site managers that are saying some form of coordination. And so if you're a couple that's listening, just clarify, like ask the question, like what does
Hmm.
that mean?
Hmm.
Because you'll get a lot of perspective.
Yeah. Check in. Are they there the whole day? Is it the person that you've been working with, or is it a different person? Like, how intimate? Just yeah, get a gauge on how intimate it is with that wedding coordinator, and like it's so hard to say because of like the range of like what everyone does and doesn't do to think of like a good few questions to ask them because like it's so weird. I'm all these other venues are like popping into my head as like far of like the different levels, but I would say like yeah, is the person I'm talking to going to be like the my coordinator? Are they assigned? Do I meet with them beforehand? Do they create a timeline? Do they work with my vendors? And are they there from the start to the finish? Because I've heard all these stories of like, oh, the coordinator was there, and then like after dinner they never saw them again.
Yeah.
And like usually after dinner you don't see them much because like things are just kind of flowing, but you should see them, especially at the end. Like
Yeah.
I don't know,
I feel
it's
like you
yeah.
have such strong opinions about
Oh, I
stuff.
do,
I love it.
I do,
It's so good.
and yeah.
Because no one wants to take a stance in the wedding industry. I'll just like hot
Oh,
take.
some people take a stance. It's not the right stance. It's
But I'm just
definitely
saying that like
a jaded stance that I disagree with, and I've been in talks with them about it, and it's fine. Like, but it's just frustrating when I'm in talks with some people about putting that out there to the world about what they think a venue coordinator is and isn't. I don't agree with what they say or how they say it because I work so hard. So I feel like it belittles me and like takes credit away from everything I've done. And I just know the literal blood, sweat, and tears I've put in. And I just know, like, if you're going to talk about it like that, always be saying booking house excluded. Don't say select venues excluded. Booking house excluded. Aaliyah's amazing. Like, I,
put some respect.
no, for real. It's just like, I really, it's just, it's infuriating. It
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah. Well, it's tough too because like I think probably over the years it's meant different things to
Hmm.
different people, and then it kind of probably just got pigeonholed into like what it
Hmm.
is now.
Well, like the bad people ruin it for the good people.
Yeah,
So,
which is true across the board.
for sure.
Um, what's your advice for couples that are kind of in that planning stages where they're like, "Hey, we want to try to stick to some sort of budget. Um, maybe it's not the like big budget type, that they're looking at. How do they still kind of have that personality shine through? Are there things that they can do to kind of like work with that really well?
Yeah, I think it's tough. It's once again all very situational, but in general, I would say like decor wise and everything, less is more, especially in budget. Like you don't need to decorate every nook and cranny of your like when guests come in, they don't notice everything that you think you would notice. So I would say one, just like maybe reel it in there if you're struggling with a budget. Two, reel it in with like your guest count. Like really think through, are you going to be friends with these people in 10 years? Like, is it just because your mom wants them? And like, put your foot down if you're struggling with a, like, especially if you're struggling with budget, just
Yeah.
that's huge. You'll cut out a lot. And then like, there's just like some if you do have a good coordinator or a good planner, they can also review stuff that you already have and already want and tell you how you can refine it. Like, there's been a lot of times where I will see like a floral contract, and this is stuff that like a planner technically does, but this is stuff your girl will do. And I'll see, oh, I can repurpose this for what you want for that. You take that out, saved them like $100 to
Yeah.
$600 because of the way with our building we can repurpose things in different rooms and everything. And yeah, I don't know, maybe just like, yeah, asking advice from people that are in the industry, especially if you have a coordinator or a planner, like they'll definitely help you save money. Because I love all wedding vendors. I know everyone's trying to get paid, but there's things that like couples might just sign off on thinking that they need it, and you really don't need like, oh, I really don't want to call out certain things because I don't want to offend people. But
But there's
yeah.
couples that would sign off on something thinking they need it, but they don't, and they
Hmm.
would be more excited after the fact if they invested it in other ways. And
100%.
it's not even like, I don't know. It's not even the difference between content creation and videography. Like, it's not that one's bad and one's good, or one's good and one's bad. They just serve a different purpose.
Hmm.
And if a couple is excited about one and not the other, or both, like, they just need to go off of, like, later on down the road, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, when you look back on the day, are you going to be like thinking about that extra floral arrangement? Or are you going to be thinking about that, like, oh, I wish I would have spent extra money on more desserts because I
Hmm.
love desserts.
Exactly.
Like, you just got to go with what you want in
It's
some
so
ways.
true. Yeah, because it can get overwhelming. And then you see all this, like social media, it's like, you should have this, this, and this. And like, it's just social media is like terrible,
Yeah,
really, for
it's pretty
that.
rough.
It's
Well, and
it's rough.
there's no like price tag on the photo that you
No,
see, and
no,
usually it's the more expensive end of things.
100%. Or like these grand ideas of like doing some. No, so the trend I've been seeing that's really it's frustrating. So they auction off who gets to go through the buffet line first, and I'm like, the logistics, the time killing that
Yeah.
does. Like, there's like, it could be funny and it could be like, oh, we can make some extra money. Like, look how much money and it's just like,
Is it worth
one,
it?
not, no, no every wedding is different with the vibe of like what they'll
Oh
do and
yeah,
not
yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah.
And then like two, it's like you pay when you break it down to how long your event time frame is versus how much you paid for the venue, and you're like, that is how much we spent on that amount. It's just, and that's the thing that's in this knotted up, messed up, crazy, filled with wedding knowledge, rugby knowledge,
Yeah.
random true crime knowledge. Like, it's in there that I'm just like, I could tell you all of this. Just like, yeah, when your experienced vendors also are maybe advising you another route, also listen to that. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's tough because you could probably give 100 times more stuff than you even are giving to most couples. But at the end of the day, you're probably navigating this like, what's too much information?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm even just thinking like, man, that's the breakdown of time. Like, if you're gonna look at it in a like, if you're an analytical mind, maybe like some couples are not that way, but if you are, and you're gonna look at it like, okay, we're gonna spend, you know, 10 minutes doing this, 10 minutes doing that, 10 minutes doing this, and then 10 minutes doing that, and then we're gonna dance for 2 hours. It's like, well, if we consolidate this stuff, we can get an extra half an hour of dancing, and that's what we want to spend time doing.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like what you're saying is like, there's probably a way to do that.
There's always there's always a way.
It's-
There's and when with the huge disclaimer of like, you can have what you want, but like you can't have everything you want. It's weird because like some couples will come in wanting all this stuff, and I'm like, you can have that, but like here's the cost. So it's like, you can have it all, but you can't have it all because there's
if you're at
huge
the budget,
cost.
yeah.
Yeah, like you can't have all these activities and think you're still gonna have 3 hours of dancing. Like, if you want to do send off, private last dance, a bouquet dedication, and then the photo dash, like you're getting an hour at dance floor. It's just like, or you have to pay for extra time at your venue. Like, you don't have to do it all to say you did it all. Like, really sit down and think about what you want on your wedding day, what's going to make you feel the best, and like what's not going to overwhelm you so much, because it's such a small time frame to do so much. It's very overwhelming. It's so
Yeah.
crazy.
Is there a part of the planning process? So like I'm just thinking of the couples that are looking at the planning process and they're just like already stressed. Just like looking at the process. They're like, "Oh gosh."
Mhm.
Is there something in that planning process from your vantage point in the years that you've been doing this that's like, "Hey, if you do this or do that, you're going to be like less stressed and it's going to be more enjoyable."
So, like, one, I wanna say no, because wedding planning is just stressful, so don't ever think, like, "I can do it and I won't be stressed," like, it's always gonna come with stress whether you like it or not, but there's ways to minimize that, and I would say not you don't need everyone's opinion. Like, talk to your vendors for their opinions, but you don't need your sister's opinion, you don't need your mom's opinion, you don't need your best friend's opinion, and, like, what they did on their wedding day, like, you don't have to hear about it again. You don't have to do it just because they said they did it, and, like, just really sitting there and knowing it's okay that you don't need to get their opinions. Some people will be like, "Well, I have to ask my Aunt Barb because, like, she only has one daughter and she's probably never gonna get married, so, like, I have to," and, like, you really don't have to. There's other ways to acknowledge Aunt Barb
Yeah.
then, but that's gonna be so much more stressful because what if their opinion clashes with, like, what someone else's opinion, you like that better? It's like you're building all these little stressors up that you don't need.
Yeah. No, it's great advice. I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to be your day that you're remembering. Aunt
Mhm.
Barb might be like, "Cool, I loved your wedding day," but how much is she really gonna be like thinking back on that day like the couple will be?
Mhm. Rather than, like, you do Aunt Barb's receiving line that she said you had to have, and you're like, "No," but instead you, like, have, like, a dessert that's called, like, Aunt Barb's cupcake, and, like, Aunt Barb's cupcake, that's so fun, like, then they got a photo of it, maybe get, like, a fun photo with it, rather than the 8,000 guests you have to do a receiving line because Aunt Barb was like, "I think it'd be a good idea," and you couldn't hurt her feelings.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's just so many ways, and, like, that's where experienced people will come in and help you with that. If you just bring it up, is that making a noise? No. If you just bring it up to them, I'll help you. They'll help you.
I
Book
lo-
at the booking house, I'll help you.
Obviously a big part of your job outside of keeping things organized during the actual wedding day is that like planning process like we've been talking about. Has that process changed much for you as you've kind of like learned more and now you kind of have a different perspective on anything?
Um, yeah, I think I've just narrowed it down to, like, better questions, like, what do I need to know? What can I get from a vendor that's not gonna be, like, the redundancy, you know? So, that stuff and, like, advising the couple on what I'll need from them, like, more so, like, giving them more direction. I think I've really gotten a good understanding of, like, what couple, because in my head, just because I know it doesn't mean the couple knows it, so I think really learning how to communicate that to them, tell them, like, what I'll need, what they should do, that is just cohesive with, like, checking off the boxes to get them to the day with the least amount of stress. Because the redundancy can be, like, everyone's asking them the same questions, you
Yeah.
know?
I did just so we just had a wedding. I don't know if it's going out, but in November we had a wedding, and we don't usually get to work with planners just in general, but planners that are like really on it.
Mhm.
And she set up the final meeting. I would normally just be setting up a meeting between me and the couple, and we'd talk about video stuff. I'd have a questionnaire and all that stuff. And it just got me thinking. I'm like, man, I remember times it'd be nice just to like have like one vendor meeting for them to just jump on one time, hour and a half long. The planner does all the stuff, and then I can jump in with my couple things that I want to talk to them about. Because it they do.
No, and it's like I would love for something like that, but it's so hard to get because, like, you're here saying, like, you saw the value in it, you
Yeah,
understand it. With how many different some vendors are like, "No,
yeah.
we gotta talk to that couple,"
Well, and I
and,
did.
like,
She said that, and I did feel that way. I
it's
was like, oh
crazy.
man, I want to talk to them. But I think I was more so wanting that like personal connection because we didn't get a chance to do a lot of chatting specifically with this couple early in the process.
Mhm,
Um, but I was just like, it makes sense to just like condense it all. Like we
mhm.
do all the stuff. I get to talk about the couple things that are like video specific, and then they feel taken care of, and everyone's on the same page.
Yeah, and, like, that's what I, like, want to get, like, to something like that, like, where there's some way that, like, even just them confirming, like, the event time frame, like, all these like minuscule questions that
Yeah.
like I've asked them. They've been asked, la 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 la. So in my meetings, because sometimes I'll get to them like right after they've had their photography or DJ meeting, or like I'll get to them right before. And like luckily if it's before, I'll be able to like tell them these questions are probably what your DJ is going to ask. So like when you get that first draft of the timeline before they even ask you, like send them this. So like I've been trying to do something like that so that it like gets rid of the pure volume
Yeah.
of question, because some of the questionnaires, and I get it, like you really want to get an
Ours is
understanding.
long. Ours is 50
And
questions.
it's like, so take that, and then it's the DJ asking that, the caterer asking about 20,000 more, which is needed.
Yeah.
But then like there has to just be a way that it can be better, because
Condensed.
they just are so annoyed by the end of it. They're just like,
Do they tell
shut
you that they're
up.
annoyed?
Oh, almost all the
For
time.
real?
Almost all the time. Not
Dang.
even, they don't say annoyed. They're like,
It's just done. Done
they're
with
just
it.
like, this
Yeah.
person's asking me, and they're like, they're just try. They think they answer a question, or like they asked the wrong question, or they thought they updated me on something. That's why, like, when I send my final timeline out, like the couple trusts that the questions like that I've asked them, that the vendors I'm sending it to are
Mm,
gonna see it, because if they just updated me on like a song change or something, and it's like the 1 week out, and I'm sending it out to the vendors, I put in my thing like, please read it thoroughly. And like,
yeah.
because I've read all of your stuff thoroughly and put it in. Like, can you just please look it over and tell me before wedding day? But before
Before
wedding
wedding day. Say it with us now.
day. Because the day of, when I get asked a question that could have been answered,
Yeah.
and I'm like either super busy or like, or they're like, well, should we just go ask the couple? I'm like, don't you dare
Yeah.
go anywhere near them. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. Like, what the heck? It's not about you. It's not.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just frustrating when you have the answers, you send them out, they don't look at it, and then day of, I'll hear them jump over me, go talk to the couple. They're like, okay, and did you want this song? And they're like, looking at me, and they're like, yeah. And I'm like, it was in my dialect.
Timeline.
I want to do like ASMR, like it was in my timeline. It was in my timeline.
Oh man.
Don't you dare clap. That's going in.
I'm not clapping anything.
Well, it's just frustrating.
Yeah.
It's just, and it's frustrating. Like,
Well, I think the thing that's potentially tough is if a vendor has that like singular mindset. Like I can kind of get in that frame of reference sometimes where it's like I do have this video that I need to produce for the couple. Like if they are expecting me to do the thing that I normally do with the video, right?
mhm.
And if that's all that I'm thinking about, I'm not going to be like as concerned with your timeline or your question or this or that. But if I take a collaborative approach with it, then I'm like, oh, okay. I hear and see what you're saying. I hear and see what you're saying. We're all on the same page. Everything's good.
Yeah, and I'm not saying when I send the timeline out, you have to memorize it, get flashcards, and go take a test on
Yeah.
it. All I'm saying is like, it's a collaborative of like everyone's main things with more detail. So like if it's something so specific of like reception, you know, the flow of event, like it's in the timeline, and maybe you had something else because of something like you had thought out that is very video specific, like maybe double check that ahead of time so that we could talk it out before, rather than day of you're like, oh wait, I'm just now seeing this and I don't think that's going to work for the video, and I'm like, that's the least you
Yeah.
could have done when I sent the timeline, you
Yeah.
know?
So
So
it
it's like,
does everything look
yeah,
good.
you don't have to look at everything else.
Yeah.
It's just like, and it just goes into the redundancy, and like just the couples are just like, why do we have to take away from their day with that little stuff because you couldn't sit down and look at something, and now like it kind of puts like a bitter taste in their mouth, you know? Like
Yeah.
by the by like literally right after ceremony, they're just already like, it's already been a lot of a day because they've been here, they've been like taking photos, they're dressed, and like I'm sure there's always something that happens that they
Always.
like, always, or
Yeah.
mom has to go and tell her something. You're just like, shut up, Barb, zip it.
Barb's really getting a lot of flack today
Why am I saying
as
Barb? I don't
mom
know,
and aunt.
Barb.
Barb. Sorry, Barb.
I honestly have nothing against any Barbs. I don't know
Yeah.
many Barbs.
We're not
Oh my
we're not talking
gosh.
about a specific Barb, are we?
No.
Okay, I didn't know if
I think that's like my like Aunt Sue, Barb.
that's like your Karen.
It's my go-to. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't say Karen unless it's like, I know you.
Like really bad.
Mhm.
Okay, so Barb. We'll stick with Barb.
Yeah. But I don't know. I get fierce about the timeline thing because I'm always putting myself in the couple's shoes. And I don't think all vendors do that as much because, like, do you really want to be asked that many questions on, like, the biggest day of your life that you spent all this money on vendors to handle for you?
Yeah. Well, and I feel like I try to get everything that I would need from them before the wedding day.
Hmm.
So, like, they know what we're doing with audio, they know what we're doing with lights, they know what to expect from us and like how we're gonna present ourselves on the day.
Hmm.
Like, that way there is less of the like video specific things. It's not like, hey, when do you want to do your interview? It's like, hey, when you're ready, I have a spot over here. You can
Yeah.
sit down. I'll clip this mic on you, take 2 seconds, and then we can just jump right into it.
And that's so good because by the time it's like that point of the day, like, they don't want to be asked another question. They want you to be like, hey,
Yeah, we're ready.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. They just like are like, do not ask me a single other question.
And then I sit down and proceed to ask them questions.
Those are questions they
Yeah, those
want
are
to
good
answer.
questions. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they want to
I always feel
answer.
bad because start crying and they just finish their hair and makeup. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Aw.
Um,
But
if
sorry, really, last thing
Yeah,
on the
yeah, yeah.
timeline thing. So, like, when the couples hire like a planner or a coordinator, that's good. They, I think, use you as like a communicative tool in that like last few days coming up because like in the last few days you're so in on like the family end of it and like the actual day happening
Mhm.
that like if they're telling you an update they're like okay, like expecting me to communicate that and then the vendors to hear it from me. So it's like when that does happen, they don't want to be telling me, then the DJ, and then the photographer as well, if it's like something that has been maneuvered. So that's what's really frustrating is like, I feel like some vendors don't respect that, like, that last minute thing could come up and like we are then hired to handle it and like leave them alone.
And I love when there is someone like what you're describing, because then there's stuff like we just don't have to worry about it. Like, if you guys are on it in your role, I don't have to focus about anything other than just capturing the video
Yeah. And that's
and
what you should
and
do.
worrying about my
Yeah.
job.
Because when they do update me, and if it is going to be like, I'm thinking as a videographer, photographer, DJ, and caterer, like, and then like if it's something that's not realistic, like I'm the one, like, I know I'm not your jobs, but I'm thinking in the shoes of like like you just have to. So it's
Yeah.
like just to trust that like I'm not just like, oh, I'm only here for the venue. Like I am not like
Yeah.
I'm not doing everything just to make sure the booking house looks good. The booking house looks good without me needing to do anything, honey. Looks great. It's fine. I'm here for the couple.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, I can't imagine that every venue has a you that could say that. Do you know what I mean, though?
I know. I'm definitely one of a kind. And
But
other venues,
I
they
mean that
don't. Yeah.
seriously, though. It's
It's
like
true, though.
they
It is
would
true.
do everything in their power to make the venue look good and not
Hmm.
necessarily everything in their power to serve the couple the
Yeah.
best.
And I get that's tough if you're like a new vendor and you're just like, I don't fully know what to expect. But like,
Yeah.
I think you can read it in my communication and like the effort I put in the timeline and maybe like just respecting that until like,
If there's a newer planner, a newer wedding coordinator, they're just kind of getting their footing.
mm-hmm.
Well, like, and they're excited, right? They're excited, kind of like you were when you first started. You were like fresh, excited, like diving into it head first, maybe like getting thrown off the deep end a little bit. What's your best advice for that vendor getting started? Like, what should they watch out for? What should they do to like help kind of like get their business off the ground, up and running?
Yeah. I
And
would say,
maybe it could even be like systems too that you have to kind
yeah.
of keep yourself organized and stuff.
My systems have just changed throughout the years, so it's so hard. But in the beginning, I think I did almost too much prep and like almost like studied for like an upcoming event, like it was like a test. And I think that's definitely a good advice because like knowing everything the day of is going to be so helpful if you're just starting out because then like you don't even know what you don't know yet. So you should know everything that you do know and you can know the day of so that when something that's inevitably going to happen that you don't know comes up, like you can put your attention on that and like everything else is just, you just know it. Like
Yeah.
know the mom and dad's names, like know them. Like that will like go, they will literally be like, "Oh my gosh, like, she remembered, like, all of our names." And, like, if you do something, like, dumb that, like, messed up, they don't even see it because they're like, "She remembered our names," like, for the older couple. So, like, yeah, knowing your audience, I think being your couple's cheerleader is, like, the best. So, like, not being annoying about it, but, like, keeping the vibe up, keeping also calm when it is time to walk down the aisle, like, hitting those things and then building on it and learning from your mistakes and asking questions and getting to know vendors, like, I think that's huge in the beginning. It's really hard though. I just think you just are gonna learn as the events keep going and keep yourself accountable, know what you did right and wrong and what'd you do wrong and how can I fix it? I don't know. I feel like I look at it very sports minded, but if
Yeah.
you don't have a sports background, I don't know if I'm like if you never kicked a ball around in your life, you might not know. But yeah, I took notes and I do take notes after each event because it can blur together, but like then I can like look back and remember it and yeah, just like a full circle. Now I don't even no, I shouldn't even say that. I do kind of jump into
you,
things, but I
you
think it's
basically
because
said it.
I know I really did. But it's like almost muscle memory
It's
now.
like, so
So
yeah, it's
yeah.
all just there.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, I feel like that's great advice. It's been awesome picking apart the things that you know and the things that you've experienced over the years. And I love how strongly opinionated you are on some things. It's like a breath of fresh air, honestly. But I would love for you to kind of just give the listener, the couples that are listening, kind of just like your last parting wisdom, your best advice for them.
When everything happens, it happens so fast and it's so exciting. But I think it is very important to like really sit down in the beginning of planning and like have a very deep, nice, fun discussion about like what do we think we want for the day and like what are our priorities? Like, do we really want to have like a lot of time to talk to people or like we just like want to get to the party? Like, because I think couples will start to almost like turn against each other
Yeah.
because they don't have that conversation in the beginning and like one person's on one page, one person's on the other page, and like it's getting closer and closer, and the decisions have been made, and then they're like, "What do you what?" And then they're just like, "Ah!" It's like reaches the boiling point, and then they hate each other before their wedding day, and I'm like, because like you're not on the same page in the beginning. And like just if you think like your fiance doesn't want to be involved, I'm sure they do in some point. So make it a fun night where like you just have some wine and watch a movie and just like sketch it out and like have fun with it. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be like we are check marking this like just make it funny. I don't know. That's what I personally would do. Some people are more analytical, but that's something I really want to talk about because like when it does come time for planning, like because they're getting in two different pages, like big things that they think that they didn't even know they wanted might not have happened. Like I'll offer couples to do like a first look of like the like setup reception before it gets like destroyed by the guests. And sometimes they'll just be like, nah. And afterwards they're like, oh man, like I really wish we'd have done that because they didn't have enough built in couple time
Yeah.
together. And it's like if they would have told like their coordinator in the beginning, like, yeah, we're really looking to like build in because we are doing like with a first look or without a first look. I think you need to build in one-on-one time because it's just a lot. So yeah, knowing what you want so that your vendors can guide you.
Yeah. Well, I love the idea of like knowing what you want in that like 3,000 foot view
Yes.
of just like
Yes.
super general, like generic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do we want to spend a lot of time partying? Do we want to just like hang out with our people?
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to be at the bar? Do we want to mingle? Like, do we want to be
Yeah.
at cocktail hour? Like, just like these big generalizations of
Yeah.
like,
You
this
want
would be
cookies,
fun.
cupcakes?
That would
Like
be fun. Yeah.
I love cookies. Let's do a half cookie, half cupcake. Like making it just like in your head start to come alive, like in a fun way, rather than like I feel like they'll start off
Details.
two separate islands and details. And that's just like not, I don't know, weddings, people have just, the fun just gets sucked out a lot
Oh, for
and
sure.
it's a lot. So yeah, just remembering it's literally about two people. That's you two. And what do you two want? And keep making it fun as it goes. Like
I love
it's
that.
going to be stressful. So build in like fun little things that it's not always sitting down and being so analytical.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Aaliyah, thank you so much for being on the
Thanks for having
podcast.
me.
Yeah, it was so great. Where can people find and follow along with what you're doing here at the Booking House?
Yeah, so go to the Booking House's Instagram or website, follow along through there. Uh, Britt handles all the social media and she posts like stuff of me doing stuff on the day of and all stuff Booking House wedding stuff. So follow through there. And then if you're interested in the coordinating service through the Booking House with myself, inquire with Britt and she'll direct you to me. And yeah.
Yeah, that's so fun.
Yeah.
I have enjoyed working with you and the couple weddings that we've done together. It's been so fun.
Hopefully we do more.
I know, that'd be so fun. But I appreciate you being on and kind of just like demystifying some of this, like what is wedding coordination and what's it not, and kind of even just some things for couples to kind of watch out for. And I appreciate your willingness to go to bat for couples. And I hope, vendors that are listening can kind of pull from that and do more of that for their couples too.
Hope so too. Thank you.
Yeah. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. If you could, throw us a little subscribe, maybe like this video. If you have questions for myself or Aalea, you can drop those down in the comments. I will be there if you have questions.
Be nice.
Yeah. Please. No, just kidding. I appreciate you guys watching. And if you're listening, wherever you listen to podcasts, what's up? How's it going? Thanks for listening. Appreciate you. I don't like you're walking or if you're running or if you're like driving your car. Hope you're having a great day. I really do. I really hope you're having a great day. But if you could, it'd be really, really, really helpful if you could leave us a review. Just let us know how you're liking the show. And share it with all of your friends because that'd be really helpful for the show. But that's all for this episode. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll catch you next time on The Preferred List.